Taoiseach, thank you for your reply. Taoiseach, unfortunately, the security situation worldwide has deteriorated drastically since 2022. And of course, our country is not immune from those difficulties and those challenges. And I don't think we ever pay enough tribute to the work of the emergency services in this country, how they protected us and protected our state during a very troubled era. I'm thinking of Garda Síochána, the Permanent Defence Forces, the fire services, all the health services, emergency health services, the civil defence and many others, our local authorities as well. And at that time there was a huge knowledge built up in the border area among those personnel who were based locally. Recently I have been raising constantly with An Taoiseach the possibility of having the former Dooney Nail barracks in Cavan reopened. At the moment the army structure in our country is we have Finner Camp in South Donegal, we have Frank Aiken Barracks in Dundalk. The central border area does not have a barracks. And I believe that's a huge land border, as you know, Taoiseach, with a neighbouring jurisdiction. I believe that Dooney Nail barracks that you visited from an ETB point of view some time ago, but where most of the barracks is still intact, that should be used at least initially as a forward operating base prior to its re-establishment as a full barracks. When there was animal disease in this country, when we had to deal with the security situation, the knowledge that the personnel based locally, that's not on any file. It's being lost now because we don't have those personnel based in that area. I don't think we can ever factor in enough into our thinking local knowledge, the people locally making decisions in barracks and Garda stations or whatever. So Taoiseach, I would like if you would, along with An Taoiseach, consider the reopening of Dooney Nail barracks initially as a forward operating base because of the particular challenges that face us in that area with a long land border with a neighbouring jurisdiction, and unfortunately paramilitarism has not ceased entirely. Thank you,
Deputy Smith, I join with you in thanking all of our various emergency services and uniformed services who have kept this country safe on so many different occasions and in different ways. And indeed, I know those border communities that you represent are particularly acutely aware of that huge level of service to Ireland that has been provided by those people, and I echo those words. In relation to Dooney Nail, and as you say, I do know the barracks, because I've been there with you in terms of how Cavan Institute is benefiting from a proportion of it, a small piece of it. I take that point, and your view that there needs to be that former barracks reopened, at least in some capacity, and the benefit that would provide to the region. I will discuss that with the Taoiseach and seek his views and the views of the Defence Forces, and I'm happy to revert back to you, Deputy Smith, on this issue.